Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dearest students, welcome. First of all, it is my kind request that those who kindly subscribe our channel so far may kindly subscribe it. Dear students, in this class, we are going to see the main uses of passive voice. Why we should use passive voice? What is the necessity of using passive voice? Come, let us see. Main uses of passive voice. Video 180, dated 25/8/2023. Uses of passive voice. There are many actions which cannot be expressed in active form for some or other reasons. So, we were compelled to use some other form to express our feelings, our message, information, etc. That is why man invented some other form of expression known as passive voice to replace active voice. Dear students and teachers, see, in our daily life, we are using hundreds and hundreds of types of expressions a form of expression to express our feelings, message, etc. All things, all our feelings could not be expressed through active voice alone. It is not possible. That is why our forefathers invented some other form of expressions instead of active voice. That is called passive voice. Passive voice is another way of expression of human beings. Active voice is one form of expression. Passive voice is another form of expressions. In the construction of in verb pattern and the pattern of subject and objects or some differences. So, what are the main uses of the passive voice? Why we have to use passive voice? Let us see. 8 main uses of the passive voice. We are going to see. First, it is used when there is no need to mention the doer of the action, as it is obvious who he is or will be. When there is no necessity of telling who is the doer, we could use passive form. First, the rubbish has not been collected. We need not tell the doer. The rubbish cannot be selected. Person perfect. The work had already been finished. Past perfect. The streets are swept every day. Simple present. Your luck will be a X-ray. Simple future. Your obligation is being considered. Person continuous. Thus, then there is no necessity of telling who is the doer. We could use passive voice. The rubbish has not been collected. The work had already been finished. The streets are swept every day. Your luck will be X-rayed. Your obligation is being considered. Then second use. When we do not know exactly or forgotten who did the action. When the doer of the action, we do not know. Then we could use passive voice. You see, John Kennedy was murdered. Simple past. My car has been stolen. Person perfect. You will be met at the station. I have been told to help you. The slaves had been tortured for years. Orphans are being kept because of mercy. John Kennedy was murdered. My car has been stolen. You will be met at the station. I have been told to help you. The slaves had been tortured for years. Orphans are being kept because of mercy. Simple past, person perfect. Simple future, person perfect. Past perfect, person perfect. Continuous. I mean, person continuous, not person perfect continuous. I'm sorry. Person continuous. That is, when the subject of the active verb would be people. That is, when the subject of the active voice, when the subject of the active voice is people, it is better to use passive voice. See, people. He is suspected of stealing. People suspected him of stealing. He is suspected of stealing. Martyrs have been remembered. Honesty is respected everywhere. They are supposed to living in Chennai. You see, when the subject of the active voice is people, it is better to use passive voice. Here, people suspect him of stealing. It's not. I mean, it is not honest. It is not. It is not honest way of expressing. So he is suspected of stealing. People remember. It's not. Martyrs have been remembered by people. That is, people respect honesty. So it is better to express in passive voice. Honesty is respected everywhere. Honesty is respected everywhere. That is, people respect honesty. Honesty is respected everywhere. Say they are supposed to be in other. They are living somewhere else. We don't know. I think that they are living in. I think I suppose they are living in Chennai. It is better expressed in passive form. They are supposed. They are supposed living in Chennai. Then, four, when the subject of the active sentence would be the indefinite pronoun one, that is, when the subject of the active sentence is one, when the subject of the active sentence is one, it is better expressed in passive form. For example, one sees this sort of advertisement everywhere. One sees this sort of advertisement everywhere would usually be expressed as this sort of advertisement is seen everywhere. It is active voice, it is passive voice. One sees this sort of advertisement everywhere would be better expressed in this sort of advertisement is seen everywhere. It is better. It is the better way of expressing. It is in passive one. Fifth one. We were more interested in the action than the person who does it. That is, when we are highly interested in the action, not about the reaction, then that sort of that sort of events or actions would be better expressed in passive form. The house next door has been bought. That is, somebody has bought the next door. Here, it is not who bought the but house has been bought. Another, a new public library is being built. A new public library is being built. Here, what is being built is the main action. It is not who is doing it. A new public library is being built. It is the main. We are interested in it. There is a library, a new library is being built. It should be expressed. If it is expressed in passive voice, it will be very decent. It will be neat and decent. By our local concept, it is not necessary. Okay? The house next door can be bought. A new public library is being built. Then the sixth use. The passive form may be used to avoid an awkward and ungrammatical sentence. That is, when we that is to avoid indecent way of expressing. an awkward expression, it is better to use passive voice so that we could avoid the doer. To avoid, to name or show, to avoid the showing the doer, it is better to use passive voice. When we arrive home, a detective arrested him will be better expressed as when he arrived home, he was arrested. That is, to avoid an embarrassment for the doer, to avoid an embarrassment for the doer, it is better to use passive voice. That is here. When the mother was ill, the neighbors looked after the children. Would be better expressed as when the mother was ill, the children were looked after by the neighbors. This is a decent way of expressing. Seventh one, the passive form is sometimes preferred for psychological reasons. For psychological reasons, the passive form is preferred. A speaker may use to disclaim responsibility for disagreeable announcements. To avoid the responsibility of something else. It is better to use to avoid the responsibility of something else. It is better to use passive voice. Employer, overtime rates are being reduced. Overtime rates will have to be reduced. They are in passive voice because the agreement is not an acceptable one. Here, the active form may be used for agreeable announcement. For disagreeable announcement, it is better to use passive voice. But for agreeable announcements, it is better to show that way. For unagreeable, announcement, it is better to avoid the speaker. So passive voice. For agreeable announcement, it is better to show the doer. So active voice. We are going to increase overtime rate. It is agreeable. We are going to increase overtime rates. Agreeable. Subject. The active voice. Overtime rates will have to be reduced. Passive voice. It is not an agreeable announcement. Okay. Here another example I have given. The speaker may know who preferred the action. The speaker may know who performed the action, but we should to avoid giving the name. See, when the speaker knows who has done something, but to avoid the name of the doer, it is better to use passive voice. See, Vernon, who suspects of Moran opening his letter, may say tactfully, that is, Vernon knows, Moran has opened his letter. To avoid telling his name, it is tactfully or wisely, it would be expressed in passive form. This letter has been opened. Instead of saying, you have opened this letter, say, Vernon knows that Moran has opened this letter. But telling him, Moran, you have opened this letter. This is not a decent way of expressing. So to avoid this, the letter has been opened. This letter is not my letter has been opened. That is trouble way of for a decent way of expressing. Passive voice may be used or can be used. This letter has been opened. Instead of saying you have opened this letter is better. Instead of telling you have opened this letter, it is better to say this letter has been opened. Then, eighth example. So in the construction, verb plus object plus past participle. Verb plus object plus past participle. I heard the car resprayed. It is somebody has resprayed my car. That's not good. I used somebody else to respray my car. It is better to say, I heard my car resprayed. This construction can be used to express more neatly sentences of the type I employed someone to do something for me. That is, instead of saying I employed someone to clean my car, you can say I had my car cleaned. That is, instead of telling I employed somebody else, someone to clean my car, it is better to say I had my car cleaned. This way, this is the neat way of expressing without hurting the feeling of others. Or when it is necessary to avoid the name or to avoid the teller, it is better to use passive voice. That's the elders, educationists, the teachers and dear students. Thus we will see why and where we should use passive voice. There are so many places where we cannot or could not or should not use active voice. We should not show the a doer. When we have to avoid the doer, it is better to use passive voice. So thus you have seen 8 main uses of the passive voice. Dear students, kindly make use of it. This is my kind request, that's all. I have given only selective 8 main uses I have given you. There are so many uses, but finally the main, mainly the uses which are daily having in our ordinary life. These 8 uses have it. Dear students, elders, educationists and teachers, I wish all of you a very nice and a sweet time till I meet you in the next class. Thank you.